Presented by
Triple J Auto Group now offers customers the ability to get pre-approved instantly. Shop for the car of your dreams anytime, anywhere. Save time and apply online at carsguam.com.
Welcome to KUAM's Cruisin, and our guest today is the Homeland Security Advisor for the Governor, Brigadier General Johnny Lizama. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You were born and raised in Guam. Tell us about your...
I was born on Guam. I'm actually a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy. He retired, but my older sister and myself were born on Guam. We left very young. We were raised mainly in San Diego, big Navy town. And then when my dad retired, we came back to Guam.
We have something in common. I am a Navy brat too.
Yes.
And every Navy brat has lived at one time or another in San Diego.
Interesting too, because sentimental value when they tore down Naval Hospital. I was born there, so myself and my sister.
So what was it like growing up as a Navy brat, going from different base to different base every couple of years, I guess?
Well, it's different because Navy at that time, and I'm assuming for yourself as well, minorities didn't really have all the opportunities.
Absolutely.
My dad's older brother, he was a cook in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's younger brother was supply, and then my dad's youngest brother, he was a lab technician. So not a lot of opportunities during that time frame, but a lot of strong family values rooted from Guam that transpired with both my mother and my father. My dad's originally from the village of Sumai, and my mother is from the village of Jonya. But strong family values, and it's carried on since, and so here I am. Fast forward 50 some odd years later. But had great opportunities traveling, mostly on the West Coast. Was part of that influx of Chamorros and the building up of the Sons and Daughters of Guam in San Diego. One time my mom's brother, John Salas, who's passed since, was one of the forming presidents. So it was a strong community and very rooted in with roots from Guam. Since then, I returned back when I was in junior high school and ended up going to Aga Junior High in my 9th grade, and then been here since. Went to Aga Junior High, and then from there GW, and then from GW to Father Duenas. So I ended up graduating from Father Duenas in 1977.
How about your college?
College, I went to University of Guam. Right out of Father Duenas, I was trying to apply for the service academies or whatever ROTC scholarship I could at the time. Opportunities weren't there just at the time, so I just kept pressing forward. I still stayed connected to the military. I actually joined the Coast Guard Reserve here on Guam right out of high school, went to basic training, came back, was going to UOG. The following summer, finished my technical school on the Coast Guard side, and I was a machinery technician at the same time while I was going to UOG. I was a management major at the time. Ended up finishing, and then right after that was dating my wife, and we wanted long-term goals to be together and establish a family. So I ended up joining the Air Force, active duty. I joined as an enlisted in anticipation of possibly applying to become an officer. I passed the test, was waiting for opportunities, but it just didn't arise. As a couple years went by, just still kept motivated, but family issues came to light. My father was ill, so we chose at the time for myself, after 5 years of being in the Air Force, coming back and spending time with our 2 older kids with their grandparents. My father passed away since, but it had a keen opportunity for them to enjoy grandparents, and I would recommend that for anybody who's living in the States, that if they've not had an opportunity to have your kids spend time with your grandparents, please do that, because those are lost memories once they're gone.
Absolutely.
And so it carried on since. But during that time, the active Air Force, I was stationed in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, at Eglin Air Force Base, and that's where my oldest son Keith was born. And then moved on to Beale Air Force Base in California, and that's where my daughter was born. Then came back to Guam, joined the Air National Guard soon after getting out of the active Air Force, and had been in the Air National Guard for Guam since 1988.
I'm smiling because as a military brat myself, that's kind of the typical life. Each of your siblings were born in a different base around the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my two younger sons are born here in Guam. One born at GMH, the other one at Naval Hospital. But great opportunities. They still remain very connected to Guam. My oldest son works for the Department of the Army and is part of the Arizona Air National Guard, married with 2 children. Those are our 2 grandchildren. And then my daughter is in the Navy. She's been there ever since graduating from the Naval Academy. She's married, no children. Hope to have some soon. That's what my wife and I are anticipating. So she's been in for the last 5 years, and she's attending the Navy postgraduate school. So my second son is currently a brother with the Capuchins at the St. Fidelis Friary, studying to become a priest. He's finishing up his undergraduate degree, which he's focusing now on, which we just kind of came to light, is that of being a social worker. And then once he's done with his bachelor's, then he'll be on to hopefully finish up his master's in divinity and become a Capuchin priest.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh yes, that's probably one of our main core issues that we've done as a family. And then we have our youngest son, Rico. He's 16, currently a junior at Father Duenas, and the world is wide open for him, so we just keep on mentoring.
Still to come on Cruising with KUAM, we'll hear more about the Brigadier General's connection to the man upstairs and his ties to the military.
Presented by
Triple J Auto Group now offers customers the ability to get pre-approved instantly. Shop for the car of your dreams anytime, anywhere. Save time and apply online at carsguam.com.